So I recently just made a video where I talked about the couple of Cleveland Cavaliers signings that we of course recently did. If you missed that video, I do highly recommend going and checking it out. But for those of you who want a quick little update, the Cleveland Cavaliers recently just signed Max Strus and Georgie Niang to the team, and of course re-signed Caris LeVert. If you would like to go learn more about the contracts and sign and trade details and all of the above, go and check out that video, which will have been uploaded before this one. But in today's news, we've got a couple of more players that the Cavaliers have actually gone out and decided to sign and bring to the team. And I actually, oddly enough, like these moves because they're not in any way, shape or form big players or players who are really going to play, I think, that many or that much minutes on the team. But at the end of the day, they're still overall better players than what we had last year. For example, our 15th and 14th man last year, who somehow ended up becoming our 9th to 10th man at the end of the year, ended up being Robin Lopez and of course Raul Neto. Now, I don't mind either of those players, but Lopez was seriously bad last year. Again, I really don't want to disrespect, he had actually a pretty good career, but he was very bad on the Cavaliers. Why Neto just didn't really do exactly that much. And in saying that, it was kind of obvious that the Cavaliers needed a fresh start and shouldn't have brought those two back, obviously, because at the end of the day, when Allen or Mobley was hurt, we really lacked that big man depth, and Robin Lopez had to play 10 to 15 minutes a night when those guys were injured, more than I would have preferred he played. And then, of course, Raul Neto was kind of the backup point guard for the first half of the year, and really the second half too, because Ricky Rubio missed a lot of games due to his comeback and all that type of stuff. So it definitely made it a little bit hard on that front. But what the Cavaliers have decided to do is, as a third string kind of point guard, but more of just a guard who's probably going to come in and play quite a bit amount of minutes for the Cavaliers, they actually signed Ty Jerome to a 2-year deal worth $5 million, $2.5 million a year, which I believe is like the new minimum. I'm not actually too sure if the minimum is still like 1.92 mil anymore, because it seems like all these players are signing for 2.5, so I don't know. I actually haven't really fact checked that, but I think it actually might be now. Of course, Ty Jerome was a former first round pick, I believe, and again, he's kind of bounced around in the league, most notably playing for Oklahoma, I believe, where he at one stage did play 24 minutes a game, where that season he actually shot 42% from 3 and averaged 10 points and nearly 4 assists off that bench. For the Golden State Warriors last year, he averaged around 18 minutes per game, where he shot a 39% three ball and averaged 7 points per game. Again, this dude is just a really good shooter who I think the Cavaliers, of course, desperately needed. We needed a lot of shooters in this offseason, and we brought him in. We brought in Max Strus, we brought in Georgie Niang, who are two really good shooters, and now, of course, we've got Ty Jerome, who will probably be like the 14th, 15th man of this team. But if, again, touch wood doesn't happen, if DJ or Rubio gets hurt, you will start to see, I think, Ty Jerome playing much more minutes as the season maybe does go on, and maybe if we have some injuries here and there. And then, of course, the other player, the Cavaliers didn't necessarily sign. They actually technically traded for this guy, but that was actually, of course, Damian Jones, who I've never really rated, but at the end of the day, the backup center market is not exactly that good in this free agency at all. In fact, the backup center overall in the NBA isn't really that deep of a position anymore. You can't really find too many terrific backup centers in the NBA nowadays. Again, you look at the Cavaliers, they had Robin Lopez as their backup center. But when we look at it, Damian Jones at least is a quite decent guy who is definitely passable and is a 3-time better player than what, of course, I think Robin Lopez was. And at least Damian Jones might somewhat fit into the system a little bit more, and will definitely not give the coaches headaches on risking putting him out on the floor, because at least he might somewhat do something. Again, the Cavaliers didn't actually really sign this guy. They actually traded for him, but they only traded like cash, I think. It was really just for Utah to free up the roster space without having to waive him and guarantee his contract, and then again, that wouldn't have been that great for them. So of course they decided to ship him off to Cleveland, a team that desperately needed a backup center. And look, I actually don't mind this again, because if we think about it, Isaiah Mobley, who wasn't exactly that great for the Cavaliers last season, seems to be like he's building, and I think could definitely get some minutes this season. I wouldn't be surprised if the Cavaliers actually ended up upgrading his contract to a normal 1 year, because if I'm not mistaken, I think right now he's stuck on the two-way contract. But again, if he proves himself in Summer League, maybe we could definitely see that get upgraded, and he might be the third string, but of course maybe get some minutes more here and there. So that's definitely going to be really interesting. Of course, there's not much more really to talk about this. There was a couple of good signings. I don't mind it at all, but yeah, it's going to definitely be really interesting to see how the Cavaliers furthermore carry on in this offseason. So I'm cool and excited to see that. Again, definitely don't forget to let me know all your thoughts and opinions on this down below. Do you guys think the Cavaliers signing Damian Jones, or trading for him rather, was a good thing? And do you guys think them signing Ty Jerome was a good thing? Again, I definitely would really like to know your thoughts and opinions. Again, don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel, my IRL/vlog channel. All of them will be getting linked in the description down below. But as I was saying, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.